So when you talk about, this is a private university campus, they are entitled to not have their buildings desecrated in this manner, and they are entitled eventually to have the police remove them.
Be honest. When they were doing it in a public space, everybody in media, in American media, said, "How dare they do it in a public space? They do it in a private place." You go, "How dare they do it in a private place?"
No, you shouldn't be breaking into buildings full stop.
You know what? When Martin Luther King in Selma, Alabama, crossed the Edmund Pettus Bridge, you know what they said? "How dare they interrupt the bridge? How dare they go in a public place? How dare those protesters?" Civil rights leaders should know their role, should know their place, boy. That's what people like everyone in American media is saying right now to the people in favor of not slaughtering any more Palestinians.
Yeah, I think
you guys sound exactly like Bull Connor.
Okay, Kat, I know you have to go. I just want to just bring you back in just briefly. Look, this is an incredibly, as you can tell, this is a very incendiary debate and passions run very high.
No, it's not, because you asked the dumb questions,
you've just
man.
been listening to?
No, it's not.
Giving you any more clarity about how we resolve this situation? Because presumably these protests are not going to go away. They may get bigger in number. They may affect more universities. This is a bad situation, getting progressively quickly worse. What do we do about this?
Right. Again, going back to what I was saying before, I think that the law on these things is clear. I think that we want to be careful to not give up any of our rights as Americans in response to things that we see.
She's right.
There's also a bipartisan legislation proposed about having anti-Semitism monitors on campus.
You see, I like this lady. I don't know who she is. I never seen her in my whole life, but she's making sense. She's like, I mean, we still have freedom of speech in this country. I mean, we can't be just telling lies for the sake of lies. We cannot just protect a certain class of people and throw the First Amendment under the fucking rug because it's guys, you know, who are a certain class of people.
I mean, what could go wrong there, right? And
Yeah.
I've been open as a First Amendment absolutist, and I've had people send me videos of things like smash windows. Well, is this free speech, Kat? Obviously not, and I'm not saying that it is. I think that the robust debate surrounding this proves all the more reason why there are strong disagreements on what counts as what and what means this or what means that we should not have the government be in the position to decide ever what you can and cannot say, because any of these rules that some people are pushing for that would, you know, some of the slogans that the Palestinian protesters are chanting, to silence any of that could then, based on what else someone else thinks, could be used to, say, prevent an IDF soldier from coming to campus to speak. So I think that there are two separate things that we need to keep: how you feel about the speech personally, how you feel about the issue personally, and then how you feel about the government involvement in it. Those are two completely separate things, and it's not the same to be pro-First Amendment and anti-Semitic.
You make some great points. Kat, we've got to let you go. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. I want to bring in Javier Deruso. You've been waiting patiently. You posted on X yesterday, breaking inside the UCLA anti-Israel encampment. Journalist Cam Higby and I snuck into the ongoing encampment to see what was going on. Cam was caught after asking too many common sense questions and physically removed by the protesters. We have a bit of footage of that, I think.
About the same wristbands as the anti-Semites so that we could sneak into their camp and woo, chat out the ghetto. First of all, they had gender-neutral buckets to urinate and poop in. The whole place smelled like musty terrorists and shit. But the fact that they were forcing out conversation and journalists makes it clear.
You know, for a man complaining that people are shitting in a bucket and you take it in the ass every day, you smell shit every day, man. You know, it's unbelievable, man. It just, the world is crazy. I mean, you're taking another man's shit up. You know, he's shafting your shit, man. Okay?
Clear that they don't have the answers to explain why they're there. And I was overhearing the most racist conversations about white people just in general. These people are literally BLM rebranded and more extreme.
Look, that's pretty inflammatory stuff, but you're here now. Do you think what you did last night was the right thing to do?
Absolutely. And first of all, thank you for having me, Pierce. It was the right thing to do. I'm somebody, I hate propaganda from either side. I hate being told what I'm supposed to believe. So I like to go in and see for myself. So I snuck into the camp. It was very easy. I just put on a tacky outfit and went and bought the same wristbands from Staples. And I saw the conditions that were back there. I saw the sanitation hazards of them all using the same bucket to poop in. And I saw I overheard the conversations that they were having in there. It was full of hate speech. It was full of just calling for the bloodshed of Zionists. It was them being angry, and it ultimately started to get violent once my friend Cam Higby's cover was blown. Once they realized, as they were describing him as a white Republican, they immediately knew that they had to kick him out, and they locked arms. They were shoving him up the stairs and then back down the stairs to get him out of the encampment. And it just goes to show how aggressive these college students are getting. I'm all for free speech. I'm all for freedom of expression, but that is limited once you start, one, prohibiting these students who pay a lot of money to.
So this guy has an issue with people taking his shit and this and this, you know. The reason I'm very harsh on this guy, because he's a piece of shit. He hates black people. He's one of those grifters who want to show, oh, black people are always complaining. And then he's walking around with a t-shirt that, like, see what mine says, Brooklyn, a big sign. It says, make Gaza Jewish again. Now, when you say that, and that means you have no fucking feeling for the dead people and the people who live there, like they don't exist, like they're not human beings. You understand what I'm saying? This is I have a problem with people like that. This is the kind of people you know, he's complaining about shit and he's taking it up the ass, and I'm sure he's smelling shit every time, and all of a sudden, you understand? Excuse my language, you know.
Go to these college campuses to go to
I
class,
talk the way I
as
want
well
to.
as
Fuck
you
it,
start
man.
becoming violent towards journalists and people who are just there trying to get an inside story on what's actually happening on these universities
you're not a
we are being asked
journalist.
to pay for.
Dr. West, coming back to you, Donald Trump got horrendous criticism for cracking down on the BLM protests in 2020. Is Biden not just doing the same here? And is there a double standard in the way that people are looking at these two different situations?
Number one, anytime you have massive military occupation of a community, that's what BLS was about. That's what Black Lives Matter was about, which that's a 400-year affair. I don't know whether the brother would want to do that in the 1960s to see who was using the urine with King and Malcolm and Fannie Lou Hamer and others. But there were other issues they were zeroing in on. It's called American terrorism. It's called American Jim Crow, or American police murdering other young people of different colors, disproportionately chocolate, right? But when you have massive military occupation, that is a massive breakdown of a community. If you can't have a leadership of a university that can have a dialogue about three claims, we want transparency about your investments,